Welcome to a cold, windy and slightly rainy Ibis budget hotel behind me. We are now heading to Terminal 2 at Manchester Airport for a flight to Istanbul on an A321 Neo, followed by 3.5 hours in Istanbul Airport, which I haven't been to before. And then another 4.5 hours to Samarkand, Uzbekistan. So I have fast track security through my credit card, but I've missed the slot because I stayed in my room longer than I thought I would. And currently I can't also check in online or on the app, because Turkish Airlines won't let me. So we're going to get into the terminal, check in, and then see how long it takes to get through security this morning at Manchester. Because the airport at Terminal 2 here in Manchester is absolutely heaving today. It is packed. It took me 94 minutes to get through security, and that was with fast track. Every single bag was being pulled aside for additional screening. They had to test all of my liquids, which meant I was stood there like an idiot for however long that was. The Turkish Airlines plane hasn't arrived yet. It's supposed to be about 30 minutes until boarding, so it might be delayed. I've got a 3.5 hour connection in Istanbul, on a separate ticket to the one to Samarkand, so I will not be protected if the transfer goes wrong. All in the name of saving a few quid. But I'm just going to sit here, wait until boarding, and then I will see you on the plane to see what we get on Turkish Airlines, because I haven't flown them for 15 years, so a lot might have changed. So I'll see you when we are getting on board the A321 Neo to Istanbul. So let me tell you about the seating situation. So I went to the check-in desk for Turkish Airlines. Apparently they have disabled remote check-in for visa checks, but UK passport holders, and we're flying from Manchester, do not require a visa, which the check-in staff didn't seem to know. But I'm now on a window seat somewhere in the middle of the plane, and then on the Samarkand flight I'm at the very last row 37, again on a window seat. It's an overnight flight anyway, so I'm probably not going to see anything on that second flight. But when we get to Istanbul, I'm going to try and get into the IGA Lounge with my lounge pass, because I don't think I'm going to be able to eat much when I get to Samarkand, because it'll be about 4:30 in the morning. But it's a rainy, windy, dull day outside. I think I'm probably sat in the wrong part of the terminal too. I'm in the A gates. I have a feeling Turkish Airlines leaves from the D gates, which is right at the other side of Terminal 2.
Flight AY1362 to Helsinki.
So as I expected, I was sat in the A gates, and Turkish Airlines is departing from the C gates. So I've had to hot foot it across Terminal 2 here. Sweating. They've got the heating on full blast, so it's roasting. But hopefully we should be boarding in 10-15 minutes. The flight's showing us on time now, but I still can't see the plane. But yeah, I'm sat. It's this flight to Istanbul that I'm sat on the very last seat on the plane. 37F, I think, right at the very back next to the window. I'm struggling to stay awake. I didn't sleep very well. If you've seen the video about the Ibis budget here at Manchester Airport, you'll know why. Hopefully it's a quiet flight and I can just try and I won't sleep, I never sleep on planes, but hopefully just a bit of rest before Istanbul, and then potentially the chaos of arriving into Samarkand Airport at 4:30 in the morning. So after about a 30-minute wait here, it was time to head down to the plane. Usually Turkish Airlines would use a jet bridge, but today we had to walk out in the rain to the steps at the back of the plane. So it's about a 4.5 hour flight on this A321 to Istanbul. It's Istanbul's new airport. So not long after I got on board, we started the taxi to the runway and then the takeoff into a wet and windy Manchester sky this morning. So the seats on the Turkish Airlines A321 are actually quite comfortable. They've got this headrest that you can pull out the wings to support your head and neck if you want to relax. Sick bag, safety card in English and Turkish. Earphones, not the best, but it's good to get them. And then quite a lot of entertainment to choose from on this screen. Quite responsive screen too, not much lag. Lots of movies, TV programs, music to choose from. A couple of games as well. This should keep me going for the 4.5 hours to Istanbul. So not long after takeoff, the meal arrived. It came with a small bottle of sparkling water, some still water, some kind of salad thing with a hummus, and roasted vegetables on, I think it was a spicy rice. It was actually quite tasty. You could actually taste something, which is unusual for a plain meal. There wasn't a lot of it to choose from though, so it would have been good to have a bigger plate. Eventually we made it to the Turkish Riviera, to the Turkish coast, and started our descent slowly down into Istanbul Airport.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a good day.
So it was a long walk up this jet bridge, and then when we got to the other side of this corridor, we came to a standstill for about 10-15 minutes because somebody from the airport was checking everyone's boarding passes for connecting flights. So it seemed like most people on this flight were actually connecting to somewhere else on the Turkish Airlines network. Anyone entering Turkey would have gone right at the doors that you just saw, but most of the planes seem to be queuing up here with one person checking everyone's boarding passes.
Okay, go.
We eventually made it into the terminal at Istanbul's new airport. This terminal is absolutely huge. It's just one really long, thin terminal with all of the gates spread out on the left and right of this main area here. Right at the other end of the terminal is where the lounges are, the restaurants and the shops. So I decided to head to the IGA Lounge, which is the only lounge you can access at Istanbul Airport with Priority Pass. But it was at least a 35-minute walk from the arrival gate. So that just shows you how huge this airport is. But it was heaving, it was really busy. A lot of people were going on pilgrimage, going on the Hajj. So there were a lot of people dressed in the traditional clothing for pilgrimage, and the gates were packed with people. So I went the wrong way, but to get to the other side of the walkway, I had to walk halfway up the terminal because there's just no way to get to the other side, because the moving walkways just keep going forever. So you've got to go halfway to the other side of the terminal to then turn around. So after a 20-minute wait to get in, I finally made it into the IGA Lounge. As soon as you walk in, you've got some lockers and this duty-free store inside the lounge, plus some toilets and showers on the right. So finally found the IGA Lounge here at Istanbul Airport. It took me about 45 minutes walking. This is a huge airport. I've got myself some salad, tea and water. I've got about 2 hours to wait before my flight to Samarkand. So in this lounge there's loads of little areas with different bits of food and drink and help yourself fridges, but it's really hot. There's an outside terrace as well, but it's even hotter outside. It was 3 degrees when I left the UK this morning. Here it's 17 Celsius. But I'm going to spend a few hours here, then head over to whichever gate it is in this huge airport to Samarkand. So I found a bit of a seating area to sit in where there aren't too many people. And I'll tell you about the flight from Manchester to Istanbul. It was nothing special. It was about 4 hours. The seat was really hard and thin. The food was mediocre. I had a vegan meal and it was literally just some peppers and tomatoes, and that was about it. There was 1 round of drinks for a 4-hour flight, which is not great. And it's probably going to be similar on the way to Samarkand. It's a slightly longer flight by about 25 minutes, but it's overnight, so they might dim the lights and people will go to sleep, and hopefully I can get a bit of sleep. Although I can never sleep on planes. But now it's time for the IGA Lounge review that nobody asked for here at Istanbul. So let's go and see what this massive lounge is like on the mezzanine level of Istanbul's new airport. So this lounge is absolutely huge. There's an outside area for smoking that overlooks the terminal and the car park and a bit of the runway, but it was very stuffy outside when I was here, and a lot of people in Turkey like to smoke really strong cigarettes. So I headed back inside to the air-conditioned lounge to go and see what it's like in the other bits of this lounge. So there are lots of different seating areas, different types of seating, lots of plants, a couple of bars, drink stations, a couple of snacks scattered around. Just help yourself. This bit of the lounge seemed to be really quiet. The forgotten bit of the lounge, it's not really near anything. There's not really anything here. There's a bit of a conference room on the right here, but then it's just a dead end, just overlooking the shops down on the ground level. And you've got these sofas, and I think this was the alcohol-free bar. They've got an alcohol bar and a non-alcohol bar in this lounge, and a pool or snooker table. Then you've got the main toilets and showers on the left and the right. Then you come out into other seating areas, and the main dining area is on the right here, which was always busy for the whole 3 or 4 hours I was in this lounge. You've got the flight screens scattered across the lounge, and different types of lighting, some ambient lighting, some bright lighting, depending on where you are in the lounge. Then on the left here you've got another bar area on a different level. This was the alcohol bar, and this was the busiest bar in the lounge. There's all kinds of wines, beers, vodkas. I think there was champagne as well on request at no extra cost. Then you had this salad bar here with tomatoes, cucumbers, olives, hummus, the standard salad things. Then on another level you also have more seating areas and another couple of snacky things scattered across the floor up here. Different types of seating, tables, armchairs, drink stations. Then up another level you've got another dining station with salads, biscuits, a couple of sweets. You've got the toilets at the back here and like a quiet area, and then some booth style seating areas on the left, and live plant wall features. It's a huge lounge, there's a lot to see, a lot of places to sit. Again, I know you never asked for my opinion on this lounge, but it is a weird lounge. It is massive, split into different parts, but then there are parts that are just completely empty, and space isn't used very well. So you can see here you've got like a gravel area and then a couple of booths, just empty shelves everywhere. I think they could have fitted more seats in close to the buffet where you walk in. And the in-lounge duty-free shop, it is packed, people are waiting for seats, but literally a 30-second walk around the corner you've just got empty booths, empty seats. It's really quiet. The slight aroma of McDonald's here though. Mackey's is just across. But we should be heading to the gate E5 I think, or E4, the gate to Samarkand. According to the seat map it is a busy flight again, and when we land in Samarkand I need to get a taxi to my hotel, at 4:30 in the morning, which will be interesting. I've been told to expect to pay between $2 and $5 for the 15-minute journey. If I use Yandex, it'll be about €2.50 or $2.50. But we'll see what happens when we get there and how long it takes to get through immigration. But until then, I will see you when we're boarding the flight from Istanbul to Samarkand on another A321 Neo. So after about a 35-minute walk again, I got to the gate just in time for boarding on this A321 Neo. We passed the business class section here, 2x2 seating with armrests, small dividers and big tables, back into the cattle class in economy. I was sat roughly in the middle on this flight on a window seat. Luckily it was just me and one other person, so we had the middle seat free. It was the only one on the plane, I think, that had a free middle seat, so I got lucky. Not too long after we started the taxi in the dark to the runway to get on our way to Samarkand, Uzbekistan.
Kullanacağını bildirir. Anlayışınız için teşekkür ederiz. Dear passengers, please keep your seatbelt fastened.
About 20 minutes after takeoff, they came round with a wet rag, wiped the sleep out of my eyes because I was tired, and then this little amenity kit, which is great for economy. It's difficult to open with one hand, but eventually I did it. It's great to have this. It shows that Turkish Airlines appreciates its economy passengers. It had this all-right eye mask with Turkish Airlines branding and a pair of socks. That was it, but it's better than nothing. Then the meal was delivered. Again, similar style to the Manchester flight. This time it was rice with some kind of spicy curry. This was okay. This one did have a lot of flavour, and it was quite spicy. After a quiet flight of about 4.5 hours, we started our descent down into Uzbekistan, Samarkand International Airport. So finally through security here at Samarkand Airport and passport control. It took at least an hour. The security guard in loosely fitting clothing and a big hat was letting all the women through before me. So I'm now waiting for a taxi to get to the Mövenpick Hotel, where I'm probably just going to drop onto the bed. But I'll sum up this trip on Turkish Airlines to Samarkand when I get to the hotel. So welcome to the Mövenpick 5-star hotel in Samarkand. This is what the room looks like. We've got a big TV, and we've got complimentary water, green tea, black tea. We've got a nice big bed, which I think I will be dropping down onto quite soon. I am tired. And then in the bathroom, we've got a big shower with some Naturals Remedies fancy shower gel, and a toilet and all sorts of toothbrush, whatever all of those are, and a big mirror. So it's now 6:30 AM Uzbek time. It took me ages to get through Samarkand Airport, and then ages for a Yandex taxi to turn up because they kept cancelling at the last minute. The main attractions open at 8. I'm wondering whether I can stay awake and go and see the attractions. But that'll be another video. Thank you for watching this one. I hope it was useful to see what Turkish Airlines economy is like on the narrow body jets on medium haul routes. Let me know what you thought. I don't think Turkish Airlines are as good as people say, if I'm being honest. There are a lot better airlines that are probably cheaper, but they've kind of got a monopoly on Central Asia, so they can charge what they want. I'd fly with them again, but I'd like to try other airlines. But yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know what you thought. Oh, and then the phone's ringing. Hello? Yeah. So I've just had a phone call from the reception saying they've not charged my card enough at check-in, and I need to go back down urgently to let them charge me more. So I don't quite know what's happening here. It's ringing again. So I spoke to YouTube, and they said you would also like these cool videos from my channel. So please also check these ones out.